Nothing is more exciting in a game than a twist in the story. Well, when it's done right. It allows the story to go in completely new directions and make us rethink everything we know about the characters. Whether in the middle of a game or at the last few seconds, a great twist can save a bad game or make a good one legendary. Today, we're looking back on some of those twists. Before we begin, remember to hit that subscribe button to level up and join our notification squad. Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. We begin with a series that is chock full of crazy and surreal twists. Over the years, fans of Metal Gear Solid have come to expect big twists all the time. Yet somehow we never saw this one coming. MGS2 starts out with Snake while he infiltrates a military ship in the Tanker prologue. It's full of the usual Metal Gear fare with some new mechanics and graphics added in. All is well and normal until Revolver Ocelot shows up. Snake confronts him, and Ocelot is suddenly possessed by Liquid Snake? No time to question it as he flees and leaves the ship to sink. You try to escape, but the mission ends before we learn what happens to Snake. Cut to 2 years later, where a Snake-like agent swims up to an oil tanker. He climbs inside, pulls off his oxygen mask, and is revealed to be a skinny guy with blonde hair? This is Raiden, and whether you like it or not, he is the main protagonist for the rest of the game. Way to bait and switch the players, Kojima. Now, to be fair, this twist makes sense at the end of the game, but still, when we play Metal Gear Solid, we expect Solid Snake. Call of Duty 4: Modern Warfare. The Call of Duty series has always been rather straightforward. Kill the bad guys and win the war. But with the fourth game, the developers began to take a more realistic approach to the storyline. Setting it in a modern battlefield, the player faces many intense firefights and missions that lean in on the gritty realities of war. As you near the end of a mission, it seems as though you are invincible. You dodge every bullet, kill every enemy in sight, and escape the fight in a perfectly timed helicopter rescue. At this point, you're expecting a cutscene to appear affirming your victory and set up the next mission, right? Not so fast. As you fly away, a distress call is made on the radio. They confirm that a nuke was just launched, and within seconds, boom! A massive mushroom cloud quickly approaches and sends the chopper straight into the dirt. You may still think this rough and tough soldier will pull through, but as he aches in pain and the screen grows blurrier, the situation becomes clear. For the first time, the hero dies. Talk about realism, huh? This moment blew us away and is still regarded as a series best. Silent Hill 2. Right off the bat, Silent Hill 2 is a game that is determined to mess with your mind. From creepy hallucinations to the iconic Pyramid Head, a playthrough of this game is not for the faint of heart. While you might think the scary monsters and level design are the worst of it, you're dead wrong. That comes at the end of the game when the truth finally comes out. See, the game follows James Sunderland, who comes to Silent Hill after he receives a letter from his dead wife. He spends the entire game searching for her until he comes across a VHS tape. He plays it, and what is presented is quite shocking. We learn that James actually killed his own wife. She was dying of a terminal illness, and he took it upon himself to save her the pain. So basically, the game was just a physical embodiment of his tortured mind. The twist brings up so many questions. Did he know he killed her? Did he go to Silent Hill to be punished? Is any of this real? At this point, the game goes beyond horror and dives deep into metaphysical philosophy. This twist created an extremely dark character and storyline that had never been seen in any game before. It's a messed up idea that lingers with you long after the credits roll. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. Before hitting it big with Mass Effect, BioWare was already experimenting with choice-based gaming with Knights of the Old Republic. In this game, you play as a Jedi with a convenient case of amnesia. With a clean slate, it's up to you to decide if you want to follow the light or dark side. With the help of other Jedi, you try to defeat the looming Sith threat and to uncover your forgotten past. You hear of a Sith Lord known as Darth Revan, a man so evil he makes Vader look as threatening as an Ewok. After 50+ hours of amazing story and gameplay, you face Revan's apprentice, Darth Malak. Then it's revealed Darth Revan is you. Mind blown. Your amnesia was due to some intense brainwashing, and somehow no one had ever seen your face before. It's a crazy revelation that could either depress or excite a player depending on how they played. For followers of the light side, all was for naught, but those aligned with the dark side got exactly what they wanted. Today, shocking room-splitting endings are a must for BioWare, but back in 2003, we had no idea what we were getting into. Red Dead Redemption. Rockstar's fantastic open-world western was unlike any game we'd ever seen. It's regarded as Rockstar's best work and even one of the best games of all time. Following the outlaw-turned-hero John Marston, you can gunsling, horse ride, hunt, and even play some poker. John is out to right his wrongs. Well, he does achieve his goal in the end, but not without upsetting a huge gang who's looking to take him and his family out. John manages to get his wife and son to safety while he holds off the oncoming attack. At first, it seems like we're in the clear. Maybe John has shot them all and now he'll finally get his happy ending. But he opens the doors of his barn, guns a-blazing, only to be quickly taken down by a dozen gunmen. Having heard the shots, his son and wife return to find John lying face first in the dirt. You'd think a guy who does everything he can to fix his life and do some good would deserve to enjoy his new life. Or at least die a much better death. But then it wouldn't be an unexpected twist, now would it? Rockstar expertly showed us how no good deed will ever go unpunished. So sad, but so true. Final Fantasy VII. The best part of any Final Fantasy game is the amazing band of characters you fight alongside for over 100 hours. Most accept the fact that the 7th game definitely had the most well-written and likable characters. Not just in this series, but in all of gaming history. That's what makes the twist halfway through the story so sad. Aeris, one of the main characters mind you, is shockingly killed by the main antagonist Sephiroth with a sword to the chest. It was the first time a major character was killed so early, and it showed us that no one was safe, not even Cloud. You spend so long connecting to her character that the moment she's gone, there's a huge hole in your party that is never filled. The only saving grace is that her death gives Cloud even more motivation to defeat Sephiroth under any circumstance. Tetsuya Nomura, the creator of Aeris, commented on why he felt the scene worked so well. He said the offense gamers took to her death was actually a good thing. The fact that we were so upset by a fictional death meant that they succeeded in making her an effective character. It's awesome that they pulled it off, but couldn't they have made it a bit less gruesome? Portal. At first glance, Portal looks like a neat platforming puzzle game. As Chell, you use the portal gun to make holes in space to complete each test and move on. There's even a funny female AI named GLaDOS who guides you through each level. But as the game progresses, you begin to figure out that GLaDOS' objective may be more sinister. She constantly reminds Chell of the reward for doing these puzzles, some delicious chocolate cake. But by the mid-game, it becomes clear that GLaDOS would rather see Chell die long before having dessert. This is also hinted at earlier in secret rooms where the phrase "the cake is a lie" is plastered all along the walls. It's safe to assume the message is true. In the final boss fight with GLaDOS, Chell blows her to smithereens. Afterwards, she wakes up on the ground in front of Aperture Labs until she passes out again. Then the camera begins to glide through the building and land on a dimly lit room. It's there that you find a little table with a strawberry chocolate cake lit with a single candle. She wasn't lying after all. Plus, it's also revealed that she actually survived in the credits song, aptly named Still Alive. GLaDOS may be a psychotic murderer, but a liar she is not. Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain has been talked to death as being one of the best written games of all time. Therefore, it is only natural that it have one of the best twists ever as well. Just before the last chapter, we see two flashback sequences. The first is of two boys playing in a construction site during a rainy afternoon. One gets his leg caught and stuck in a ditch where the water collects. The second flashback is of the other boy running to his father for help who is too drunk to do anything. The boy is forced to sit and watch his brother drown. This is the origin of the Origami Killer, the man we've spent the entire game trying to find. Then it's finally revealed. The killer is Scott Shelby. Yeah, the private detective had been tracking himself down the whole time. It turns out he was investigating the victims to get important evidence that he could burn and get rid of. That's insane. We've been rooting for and sympathizing with Shelby, thinking he was the hero when in fact he was a monster. A twist like this isn't anything new, but David Cage managed to make Shelby so likable and charming that we never could have seen it coming. Metroid. Next up is probably the most important twist of all time. It comes at the very end of the original Metroid, just after you defeat Mother Brain. The mission is complete, and a typical text scroll appears congratulating you on beating the game. Then, Samus's helmet begins to lift up. Finally, after countless hours of playing, you will see who's in the suit. An alien? A child? No, it's a woman. Now, in today's pop culture world filled with awesome butt-kicking heroines, this may sound like no big deal. Even in the 80s, there were female action stars like Ripley from Aliens. But this was the first female video game protagonist ever. Nintendo fooled everyone and even referred to Samus as he in the manual to really throw people off. We would fully commend them for this if it weren't for one glaring issue. You see, they added in a secret bikini ending where Samus will be dressed with less and less clothing the faster you beat the game. Beat it in under an hour and she will wear nothing but a skimpy bikini. Wow. Just wow. That really puts a large stain on an otherwise historic moment for women in gaming. Bioshock. Would you kindly? That question is asked throughout the game by Atlas, Jack's trusted guide through the failed utopia known as Rapture. Anytime he needs you to open a door or go somewhere, he starts with, "Would you kindly?" It acts as a glimmer of innocence in a city full of ruthless murderers and monsters. But things get crazy once Jack enters Andrew Ryan's office. After learning that Jack is his illegitimate son, a huge twist in itself, he says he is ready to die. Ryan then asks, "Would you kindly?" using his golf club on him. When Jack suddenly feels compelled to do so, everything becomes clear. Jack is a sleeper agent, and that question is a trigger phrase that makes him do whatever the speaker commands. This means almost every choice we made was already thought out for us. Even worse, it was a brainwashed Jack who crashed the plane, taking out so many innocent people, just to reach Rapture. The visionary game designer Ken Levine has questioned the meaning of choice in all of his games. It's something that only the video game medium could accomplish. One where the way we think can be manipulated and questioned. Creepy. Did any of these twists shock you? Which one was your favorite? Be sure to like this video and share it with a friend. Then check out our playlist for more awesome videos and definitely subscribe to keep up to date with The Gamer. Thanks for watching.